I'm really excited to be introducing another one of my go-to experts, Lisa Dennis, mindset coach, who is trained in rapid transformational therapy. But let me first tell you a little bit about Lisa. Lisa hasn't always felt enough and has at times lacked confidence. She would doubt herself and compare herself to others. And that is why she is so passionate about helping women feel good about themselves and find their own confidence. And I absolutely loved that description, those few lines that you shared with me, Lisa, because I've known you a little while now, and it really touched me. It touched me, the honesty of it. And that's your journey and why you do what you do today. And before we start talking about why it's so important that we create healthy mindset habits, I just wanted to ask you, for those of you that have never heard of rapid transformational therapy, which is something I'm saying really carefully because it's not rolling quite as easily off the tongue. So rapid transformational therapy, can you tell us a little bit about what that is and how it works before we get started?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, rapid transformational therapy is an amazing therapy, really, really powerful, and it uses a form of hypnosis. So say you came to me and you said you were lacking confidence. So I would put you into hypnosis, and hypnosis is just a form of like relaxation, really. So it's not the crazy stuff that you see on the telly where someone's running around like a chicken. It's nothing like that. You do feel like you could stop at any time and say it's not for me, or you could kind of say, actually, I want to say something else, or what have you. So you are aware of what's going on. And then once you're hypnotized, we can go back to the root cause of your confidence, if that's what it was, and find out what the issue was and like why it's holding you back. And often, because our beliefs are formed before the age of 7, it is to do with our childhood. And obviously you'll know, doing what you do, that yeah, all our beliefs are kind of formed when we're children and we take them into our adult lives. So with RTT, we get to the root cause of what it is and look at it with adult eyes, and then be able to kind of like rewire those beliefs into more positive beliefs for you.
So it's not only very powerful, can it be quite a quick, I mean, it's called rapid transformational therapy, and I'm sure it's called that for a reason, but can it really be a rapid, I don't want to say solution, that feels like the wrong word, but you know, that can it give you the results that you need in quite a short period of time?
Yes, definitely. I've had clients that have completely felt totally different straight away, and some of them had quite severe pasts, and they just felt like something had really lifted from them, that they really did let go of everything that they'd kind of been pushing down within them, kind of like blocking things out. They just kind of released it and let it go, and they just felt a lot freer straight away.
That quick. It's amazing. And I'm glad I asked you that at the beginning, actually, because some people, and I know, although we'd spoken before I didn't really know what rapid transformational therapy was, and I'm glad we mentioned it, and that hypnosis. And hypnosis, we always think of that chicken on the stage, don't we? But actually, I've listened to one of your hypnosis things that you shared with me, and I've done other things as well. And it just always feels really relaxing to me. And I think maybe that's part of it, that we are allowing ourselves to be in a relaxed state so we can let things bubble forward that we need to, and explore what we need to.
Yeah, definitely. So by listening to the recording, so everybody would get a recording that they listen to for at least 21 days. And that is then what helps you obviously rewire those beliefs, because it's tapping into your subconscious mind.
So, Lisa, creating healthy mindset habits. Now, you and I are very much on the same wavelength about mindset and limiting beliefs and positive beliefs. But how important is it that we look after our mindset?
Oh, it is like massive, more so obviously. I think everybody's kind of realized over the last 18 months that it is so important to look after your mindset, because it obviously helps you on a day-to-day basis. And people do kind of forget to look after their well-being because they're so busy with life. But obviously we do need to look after our well-being, because that's kind of like the foundation of us. So yeah, it's definitely important.
We use those words, well-being and mindset, quite a lot. And I'm wondering if there is some confusion or how they're linked. Or, I mean, I guess for me, when I think about well-being, I know that mindset is part of that, but it's part of other things as well. Do you think there is some confusion around mindset and well-being? And if we could just get people to understand that it's part and parcel, it would make a difference to them.
Yeah, I think, yeah, there probably is a little bit of confusion. I suppose some people think that it's just certain things and they don't really think about their mind. Maybe they think it's just going to the gym or eating healthy. And those things are really good for your mind as well. But it's also doing some of the other things which are going to really, really benefit your mind. Because we have so many thoughts every day. I think it's about 70,000 to 80,000 thoughts a day. So you can imagine when you've got so much going on in your mind that you need to kind of learn to be able to control it and kind of be able to switch off a little bit, so it's not too crazy.
Yeah, and actually when I sort of asked that question or phrased it in the way I did, I immediately thought of the Olympics and how those athletes, their training, their nutrition, the amount of training that they do and the different types of training is one part of it. But they very much work on their mindset to be able to do what they do in the way that they do.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, if they don't have the right mindset, then they're like if they didn't have the right nutrition or if they didn't train as well. I mean, it all kind of goes part and parcel. They wouldn't go on to win, or they wouldn't have a chance to do well.
I always use my daughter when I talk about mindset as an example. I'm rubbish at maths. I'm rubbish at maths. I'm rubbish. I can't do it. I can't do it. And I always say, no, you can't, because you've told yourself. And I think that's another really good example of how important our mindset is. That, you know, if we tell ourselves that we can or cannot do something, therefore that is what's going to happen. But how do we start to look after our mindset, Lisa?
So first of all, I think the first thing is actually being self-aware. So self-awareness is key, really, because I think once you're self-aware, you can like check in with yourself and really kind of see how you feel. So I like to do this like call it like a life audit type thing, where you kind of score yourself in different areas of your life, and then you can really see actually how do you really feel about yourself, because we are so busy with life and in general that we don't often kind of take a step back and think like, how do I feel about myself? Like, am I feeling okay? Because we will check on other people, and we all kind of do it. We're guilty of doing it. So yeah, we check on other people, but when do we kind of step back and say to ourselves, like, how are we feeling today? And kind of think about ourselves.
And I think women are, well, I don't think, I know, women are particularly poor at making ourselves a priority. I've got a really good friend, and she says self-care is never selfish. And I think it's a really good mantra that I try and keep in my own head, because women are particularly bad at it.
Yeah, definitely. Like if you've got kids, a partner, a house, animals, jobs or businesses, the list just kind of goes on, and you put all of those things usually in front of yourself, and you make sure everything's okay before you make sure you're okay yourself. And by the time then it gets to you, the cycle usually starts again and everything else kind of needs to be tended to. So then you kind of go by the wayside. And no, it's not selfish at all, but it's just because is ingrained in us, and our brains likes what's familiar, as you all know. And so doing this kind of behavior, it is familiar to us because we do put everybody first, and that's how it's been for a long time. So it's learning to kind of change that behavior. And then you obviously then get the guilt then when you do something for yourself. You get like maybe the mum guilt, or you think, oh God, I've got other things to do at home. I've got to walk my animals and things like that. So it's about kind of forgetting about it, or kind of thinking, actually, I'm a priority too, and not feeling guilty about it. And when the only way to then obviously make it familiar is to do it and to do it enough times. And this is with anything, obviously, to make something familiar, to do it enough times so it is your new familiar. And it is then like obviously training your brain to think that it's familiar to look after yourself, and actually it's okay to look after yourself, and to not feel guilty about it.
You mentioned that word self-awareness, and that's the place to start. And I was just thinking that self-awareness can begin with our own thoughts, isn't it? And how we react and how we behave, and just starting to be consciously aware of those things, because only then can you go, okay, this isn't working for me. What can I change? And I think sometimes people think they have to change everything, but it doesn't have to be that hard, does it? It can start with something really, really small, and we don't have to fix everything at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. It is like I'm always telling people that it is the small things that you do like daily that add up to the big things. It doesn't have to be something like, right, I'm going to change everything in my life. Just doing those small little things, because we can only focus on a couple of things at once. So if we were saying, right, I'm going to go and change my food, I'm going to start going to the gym, I'm going to start doing my mindset stuff, you're not going to be able to do any of it because it'll just be too overwhelming for you. So if you start really small and just do little bits until it becomes a habit, then you can kind of then reintroduce something else if that's what you want to do. So definitely starting small.
Because otherwise we're self-sabotaging ourselves and almost giving ourselves more evidence that we're not very good at looking after ourselves. We're not very good. And actually it was much better when we put everyone first, and we're just creating more evidence to support a belief that is not serving us, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, start small. And I really do urge people to think about those small changes that they can make. And I'm sure you would agree, Lisa, because otherwise we're just setting ourselves up to fail, aren't we? And we can only do our best work. We can only be the best mum, the best wife, daughter, whatever it is we want to be, or husband if you're a man watching, or son or anything. We're not excluding you. But until we look after ourselves, we can't do our very best for others. We can't serve others in our businesses in the way that we would like to until we take care of ourselves. The other thing I just wanted to touch on, Lisa, some of the work that I've been doing as a business coach is I have been getting people to start looking at the other areas of their lives, because we cannot focus. And I know that's, that is also something that is quite evident and clear from your own website. We can't just focus on our businesses. And we mentioned they're doing just small things, and we mustn't underestimate the power of doing something for ourselves outside of the business and the awesome results that are created within our businesses because we do that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, because if you are kind of putting everybody else first and doing all these things, then in your business, you're not going to have those boundaries with your clients. If your energy is not right and you're not feeling good about yourself in your life, then you're going to kind of project that into your business as well. So everything like doing that inner work is definitely going to obviously help your business tenfold, really.
Well, it's that mirroring effect, isn't it? I talk about it with my own clients. What are you mirroring for the clients that you want to attract? Are you the right mirror, or are you just doing all the bad habits that you're trying to share with others or help others to change? And it's exactly the same thing, isn't it, within our lives? Just thinking about it then, that our lives are mirrored in our businesses. So if we're time strapped, running around after everyone, shouting we haven't got enough time, that's exactly what we have in our businesses.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mention time because I hear that all the time. I haven't got enough time to do this, Lindsay. No, and I bet you haven't got enough time in any place in your life either. Yeah, that's usually different.
And I think as well, we're really good at kind of starting something when it's not too late, but we almost need to start it before. Like you'll get to a point, like say with your health, then you think, oh, I've got a health problem now I need to start eating healthy. If we start doing all those smaller things before we need to, then obviously then that's going to set better kind of like habits for you, and maybe you won't need to do the other things down the line.
There was something in my head then, and it's almost like a whole different recording that we could do around, we need to be teaching this stuff in schools. We need to be teaching our children resilience. We need to be teaching them mindfulness. We need to be able to teach them how to understand their limiting beliefs now, so that they don't have to go through the same things that we are now as adults and having to work on, and equally so that they don't do exactly that. Oh, now there's a health problem, I have to do something, that they always take care of themselves.
Yeah, I feel quite passionate about this actually, because I just think, yeah, schools definitely should be teaching some of these things, and some of the things that they do teach. This is just a personal opinion, but some of the things they teach, they probably don't need to be teaching. And this, like these kind of things are life skills that are going to get you so much further in life. And everybody needs to be obviously healthy, have a good mental health and things. And it definitely needs to be taught in schools, definitely.
I don't think we're alone, Lisa, in thinking. I think I've spoken to many people and to many clients actually, and we all feel the same, that we need to be in schools and are helping our young people now. Although they have proved to us, I think many of them, how resilient they are over the last 18 months and the pandemic and lockdown. So many of them have really shown their own strength and courage in coming through. But equally, we don't know what we're going to experience going forwards because of that 18 months. So it feels, again, isn't it, we've lost the opportunity before. I told you there was a whole conversation in just that comment that I was about to make.
Yeah, definitely.
So we've touched on, it's important to look after our mindset, because that's the core of who we are, and that has a beautiful rippling effect around everything. We've also touched on how, don't wait for a life-shattering event to make this a priority. Don't wait for something to happen. Decide here and now. And then how easy it is to start. Well, start small. Start with, one thing. Don't set yourself up to fail by trying to do so much that you're only going to reinforce the limiting beliefs that you're already operating by. And the third thing we were going to touch on is the benefits, but I feel like we've been doing that anyway as we've been going along, because mindset really is everything. And if the Olympians have proved that to us more recently, the Paralympians have definitely proved it to us. But I think there's I don't know about you, Lisa, but do you think there feels to me like there is a real shift to people understanding the benefits and making it a priority and wanting to make it? It feels to me, there feels like there is a shift, probably a shift that's been coming a long time, and I may be noticing it late, but there does feel like there's a change, doesn't there?
I definitely feel that there is a change, yeah, definitely. And I think the pandemic has obviously made everybody kind of reevaluate their whole lives and realize that certain things maybe weren't important to them, and actually it's just the basic things that we kind of need, and that is our health, mental health, and those kind of things. So I think it definitely has made people like I said, reevaluate it. And I think that's definitely something positive that's come out of the pandemic, definitely, because I'm hoping then that, like we said, there will be like a ripple effect, and hopefully it will get taught in schools and things like that. So we're not down the line in years to come, trying to obviously fix adults from things that have kind of happened in their past and things like that.
So I think if we had to sort of in a nutshell say the benefits, it would be quite hard, because it's so huge, isn't it, the benefits of looking after our mindset. And it does immediately, I mentioned the confusion between mindset and well-being, but actually taking care of your mindset will improve your well-being, will enable you to make good decisions in life, will give you the courage, I guess, to follow those decisions that you've made. I know so often we make decisions and then we talk ourselves out of it, but when we give time to our mindset, it enables us to make decisions, take decisions, improves our well-being, enables us. I know what it is. It's about living our best lives, isn't it? Whatever that might be. And we can do that more easily when we take care of our mindset.
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah. And I suppose choose it when you do look after your mindset. Obviously you feel happier, so it is learning to kind of live a happier life. And then it sounds like when people say those kind of things, it sounds like your best life and happier life and things. It does sound a bit cliche, but it's not, because that is obviously what it kind of helps with, really.
Because we only get one shot at it. And I think, as you know, Lisa, I had breast cancer last year, and that it kind of made me realize how precious life is, and that we only get this one go at it. Well, and unless you believe in past lives and future lives and reincarnation, but this is the life we have now, and we really need to do all that we can to live our best lives, so that we I love that, and live a happier life. Because then we get to enjoy it in all its glory.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, because who wants to go through life feeling sad?
Yeah. If somebody wants to reach out to you, Lisa, what's your website address? I will be putting it all in the description, but what's your website address?
Yeah, so it's www.lisadennis.co.uk.
And I have been to your website this morning, and it always just feels so welcoming, and it's a beautiful place to visit. So I highly recommend that people go and have a look, and you talk a bit more about rapid transformational therapy and how you can help women. And just out of interest, you work with men as well, just in case there's any men watching.
I can do. I haven't actually so far now.
But your main focus is working with women, and as you say, helping women feel good about themselves and being confident, and I guess to live a happier life.
Yeah.
Lisa, thank you so much for joining me today. I think there's absolutely so many more topics and conversations that we could cover. But thank you for explaining what rapid transformation or therapy is, and for sharing your insight into mindset, its importance, and the benefits are just huge, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, thank you for having me. It's been brilliant. Thank you.